So hey, what's up guys, this is AK, and you are watching my YouTube channel AKM. So guys, welcome back to a brand new tips and tricks video of PUBG Mobile. If you are losing close range fights even though your aim is decent, there is a very good chance that your movement is giving the enemy an easy target. Your opponent does not need perfect aim if your character is moving predictably, because once they understand where you are going, keeping their crosshair on you becomes much easier. Good movement is not simply running left and right as fast as possible. The real skill is changing your position at the right moment, controlling your direction, and making your opponent constantly adjust their aim. At the same time, you need to keep your own crosshair stable enough to actually deal damage. So in this video, we are going to break movement down into 3 important parts. First, how to move while keeping your aim ready. Second, how to change direction and timing during a close range fight. And finally, how to use movement with positioning instead of randomly moving around. Once you understand these 3 concepts, your movement will become much more controlled and much harder to predict. The first thing you need to understand is that movement and aiming should work together. A common problem is moving so much that your crosshair leaves the enemy, then stopping completely just to aim again. This creates a pattern that an experienced player can easily punish. Instead, learn to make small movement adjustments while keeping your crosshair around the enemy's upper body. When you are fighting someone at close range, use controlled left and right movement while continuously tracking their position. Your goal is not to move as far as possible. Your goal is to make yourself difficult to hit while keeping your own shots consistent. For example, imagine an enemy suddenly pushes through a doorway with an UMP or M416. Instead of standing in the doorway and trying to win the fight only with aim, start moving sideways as you track them. If the enemy follows your movement, make a small direction change and continue tracking. This forces their crosshair to keep adjusting while yours stays focused on the target. The important part is control. If your movement is too wide, you can lose your aim. If it is too small, the enemy can easily track you. So practice moving just enough to make your position uncomfortable for the opponent. The practical takeaway is simple. Do not separate movement from aiming. Move while keeping your crosshair prepared, and make your movement serve your aim instead of destroying it. Now let's move to something that makes a huge difference: direction changes and timing. Many players understand strafing, but they move with the exact same rhythm throughout the entire fight. That makes their movement predictable. Instead of constantly holding one direction, change your movement when the enemy starts tracking you. For example, if you are moving left and you notice the opponent has successfully placed their crosshair on you, quickly change direction and move right. This creates a sudden adjustment for their aim. You can also use short pauses in your movement. This does not mean standing still for a long time. It means briefly changing your movement rhythm so the enemy cannot easily predict your next direction. Imagine fighting an enemy around a tree. You move to the left side, the enemy tracks you, then you quickly move back toward the right side while maintaining your crosshair on them. The opponent now has to correct their aim twice, while you are already prepared for the direction change. Timing matters more than speed. Do not change direction randomly every second. Change direction when you believe the opponent has started predicting your movement. This makes your movement harder to read and helps you win more consistent close-range fights. The takeaway is to stop thinking about movement as simply going left and right. Think about movement as controlling the opponent's aim. There is another important factor that many players underestimate, and that is movement with positioning. Good movement cannot save you if you are fighting from a terrible position. Before taking a fight, think about where you can move if the enemy pushes you. Use cover, corners, trees, rocks, and buildings to create options. Your movement becomes much more powerful when you have somewhere useful to move toward. For example, if you are holding a building entrance, do not stand directly in the open doorway. Stay slightly behind cover so you can peek, shoot, move back, and change your angle. If the enemy pushes, you can move sideways or retreat behind another piece of cover instead of being trapped in one predictable position. This also helps during squad fights. If 2 enemies are pushing you from different directions, randomly running around can make the situation worse. Instead, move toward cover that blocks one enemy while allowing you to fight the other. Now your movement is helping you control the fight instead of simply keeping your character busy. So before every fight, ask yourself where you can move, where the enemy can move, and what cover you can use. This simple habit will improve your decision making and make your movement much more effective. To summarize, first, combine movement with your aim instead of treating them as separate skills. Second, use direction changes and different movement timing to make your path harder to predict. Third, use movement together with positioning and cover so every movement has a purpose. When you combine these three concepts, you stop moving just for the sake of moving. Your movement becomes controlled, unpredictable, and useful. You become harder to hit while still keeping your own shots accurate, and that is what makes movement truly powerful in PUBG Mobile. So guys, that was all for today's video. If you found this video helpful, make sure to leave a like and subscribe for more PUBG Mobile tips, aiming guides, movement tutorials, and practical gameplay advice that will help you improve faster. Hit the subscribe button and turn on notifications. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video.